Good evening, everyone. This is KWAS, your Washington Weather Channel. We run all night long, bringing you the weather from across the great state of Washington. And wherever you are in the state, if you're a resident, if you're planning a trip, we will give you the forecast all night long, every night, for the next day and for the entire week as well, so you can plan your trip. So for those of you tuning in for the first time, this is the overview map of the state. We have Western Washington here, which borders with Canada, and Northern Washington also borders with Canada, British Columbia up here. And then along the south, we share a border with Oregon, actually very close to Portland. And then here in the east, we share a border with Idaho. Okay. So most of the population does live in the Seattle area, Puget Sound area. So we like to start our forecast over here. And I apologize, there's some glare here. I didn't think the sun was up. It would be up this late. But hopefully you can still see it a little bit. So, over here in Seattle, we expect tomorrow to be one of the rare sunny days for this time of year. You may know that we frequently have rain in Seattle, but tomorrow is expected to be sunny and quite warm. Up in the lower 70s, we're expecting a high of 72. And the greater Puget Sound area, in the morning, it's going to be a little bit overcast, so if you're going out to take the kids to school or go to work, run some errands, you may want to wear a sweater or a light jacket. But by afternoon time, it is expected to warm up, and it will range from around 68 for the highs for this region to about 72. Okay. Now over here is the Olympic National Park and the many islands surrounding it. Now, because we do have the mountain peaks there, it can get quite chilly. So depend on your elevation. On the higher elevations, we will be seeing temperatures only reaching the low 60s for tomorrow, possibly some precipitation. So once again, as you're heading out for your daily activities, you may want to bring an extra heavy jacket or an umbrella and a cap. And you might want to postpone any outside activities as well. Okay. Now, as we move down the coast, we have Grays Harbor and the Willapa, all those towns along the southwestern coastline, because it's getting a little bit further south, it's not quite as chilly for you, although the winds will be picking up through this area, unless you're in the protected bay here. Now, we expect wind speeds in this region up to 20 to 30 knots for tomorrow. There is a high pressure zone out in the Pacific, which will be moving in right around this area by about 9 or 10 tomorrow morning. So if you have anything like outdoor furniture that might be prone to blowing away or anything like that, you might want to think about bringing that in. But by mid-afternoon or so, those winds should die back down. Now, as we move inland to this region, if you live in the Mount Rainier section, or if you're thinking of visiting, Mount Rainier is very beautiful this time of year. There is still snow on the peak, and there's actually some skiing still. And tomorrow there actually will be some precipitation, which will be snowfall. We expect 2 to 3 inches of fresh snowfall on the Mount Rainier. And the surrounding areas, as you get into the valleys, you will have, I would say, partly cloudy, so you'll have some breaks of sunshine. Okay, but temperatures not too warm, hovering around in the mid-60s for this region. All right, now as we make our way east, of course we have the the Cascade Mountain Range, which runs just east of Mount Rainier. Well, Mount Rainier is a part of that on the western slope. And of course, if you live or traveling anywhere along the Cascades, expect it to be quite chilly tomorrow, especially overnight, be dropping into the 30s. So you may see some snow flurries if you're along the peaks here. And for the western slope, the eastern slope of of the Cascades will be buffered somewhat from the winds coming in from the west. So you'll start to see a warming trend. So if you live along the Teanaway Ridge here, Badger Mountain, Kittitas, the Douglas National Forest, Yakima, I would expect that you will see temperatures into the upper 60s tomorrow. And there's a nice northern warm winds coming, which is one of the unusual times of the year that we actually would get a little bit of a warm wind coming through the corridor here from British Columbia. It doesn't happen too often, but this is one of those times. Okay. Now, if you are in the far eastern region, there's Richland is one of the major southern towns, Lincoln County here, and of course Spokane is their biggest city in the eastern part of the state. So the Spokane is the second most populous city from the state, and you will also be benefiting from that warm air corridor. Excuse me. Spokane residents can expect a little bit of a brisk winds from the easterly direction, but it'll be tempered by the warm winds from the north. So you may feel a little bit of chill, but it won't be really too frosty. Your temperatures will be ranging from in the lows of about 45 degrees to approximately 68 to 70. And you may see a little bit of a sprinkle in the morning, but then it will clear up and be a little bit cloudy in the afternoon. But by late afternoon, it should be clear and sunny. It'll be a very pleasant day. So as you go out to go to school or work, or if you're retired and you want to go play some golf, whatever your day is bringing you tomorrow, I think you'll really enjoy, especially the late afternoon weather tomorrow. Okay. Now, those of you living up in the northeasternmost region, you're really used to some much more severe weather here because of the proximity to the Idaho, this little range here. The elevations are surprisingly high in this little section, so you may actually get some freezing rain tomorrow. I don't quite think that you're going to get snow, but the conditions are prime for some freezing rain, so you need to be careful when you go out. If you need to go out in the morning or late in the evening, you know that freezing rain can look like black ice on the road, so you need to be very careful as you go out. And if you're walking as well, it can be slippery, so just be very cautious. If you have small children, you might want to, pay extra attention to make sure they have good footwear, and you may want to walk with them to school if you can. The evenings, I expect the rain to taper off, and you will see a little bit of a warming up as it gets to very early hours of the morning. So it'll be nicer the next day for you. And here in the lowest portion of the state where we border Oregon and Idaho, there's a small mountain range here. We have Columbia there, Pomeroy, Clarkson, Garfield County, Walla Walla, Washington. So all of these regions will be fairly mild for you tomorrow. Probably in the around 65 to 68 degrees for the high, and only about 55 or so overnight, so definitely not as cold overnight for you. So that gives you the overview for tomorrow for the state, and we will repeat this at the top of every hour. And right now we're going to go next into your 6-day forecast. So if you just stay tuned, we will be right back. Okay, see you soon.